Thank you, Dom. It's a bit bright here. So I can't see you. You have to apologize when I'm not looking at you. Well, Launceston certainly puts on its best weather for us, but I have to say I'm not surprised. That's what I expect when we have our showcase there. I want to thank the Minister, and I want to thank Professor Andrew Wells for the supportive and welcoming words. And as they were speaking, I rapidly revised what I actually wanted to say, because I don't want to repeat and bore you with it. So I thought, rather than continuing on the theme of the what and what TIA does and how important that sort of work is, maybe I should talk a little bit more about the how. How do we actually want to do it? And I want to start off with a quote that some of you have already heard from me, but I'm always inspired by it, because I have to drive up and down the Midland Highway a lot. And I stop at the Red Bridge for coffee. And anybody who knows the Red Bridge and goes out the back and looks over the door, there's something written on chalkboard, and it actually says, "There are few, if any, forces in human nature more powerful than a shared vision." And I think this is very true. And I find that incredibly inspiring, particularly on a day like today, where we're actually celebrating not TIA, but what we can actually achieve for Tasmania, for the Tasmanian agri-food sector, with such a joint vision. And whilst this is the TIA Showcase Day, it's actually not about us. It's about the amazing agri-food sector that we have and the potential that we really need to unlock in order to make that work. Today also shows that TIA has actually reached a stage of maturity. It's an organization that's been in existence in various forms for quite some time. And recently, I think we've become a lot more mature, influential, and in being more influential, more effective. And the way we actually do it is through partnerships. And both the previous speakers have touched on that and have actually mentioned the term partnership. And I want you to reflect on that, because partnerships actually differ. I mean, we all know that from our daily life. We all have different types of partnerships, and the relationships within these partnerships are very, very different. And they're all very important. TIA's partnership, for instance, with the state government is a fiduciary partnership, where TIA is actually provided with some resources that come with an expectation of certain outcomes for Tasmania. Similarly, the university supports TIA, expecting first-rate science and education in return. And this is a partnership that we take very seriously and where we need to deliver on. And I think in most cases we do. In contrast, our relationship with the Tasmanian rural sector is quite different, because generally we do not receive direct resources from them, but they are the ones who are supposed to derive the benefits from that collaboration and from that partnership. But the expectations from that constituency is probably very different from the more codified expectations that we have from the federal government and from our university. It's a lot more diverse and often not quite as well understood. And this is where it's very important that we have days like today where we can reinforce those links, those partnerships, and also start talking more maturely about what those expectations are, and coming to that sort of joint shared vision that I was talking about at the beginning. Because Tasmania does have all these opportunities. And the theme for today is rethinking agriculture. And some of you might have heard me talk to Leon Compton this morning on the ABC, where he asked me specifically about the role of disruptive technologies in agriculture. And they're incredibly important. There are lots of those disruptive technologies coming over the horizon. I mean, we've seen some of them already impacting on our daily life quite severely, the mobile phone technology, the internet, all these sorts of things. Technology like irrigation is one of those disruptive technologies. And we have a responsibility to underpin those technologies with an equally disruptive thinking. because unless the thinking goes in line with the technology, we will not be able to really harness the full potential of those technologies, and we might not be able to safeguard ourselves about the potential downsides that those technologies can bring with them. And this is really what today is all about. We want to have these types of conversations, we want to have these types of discussions, so that for the next years, TIA will be able to focus its resources on where it's most needed in order to guide our agri-food sector through that exciting time of transition. My team has actually asked me to reflect on what we've done with the showcase from last year and how we implemented some of those. And I've got a long list of things we have actually done, ranging from agricultural education, where we put quite a few initiatives in place around building a more skilled workforce, about working closer with the vet sector, about building a teaching and learning bench mark that we can use in order to drive our curriculum reform, and about our internationalization program that aims to attract the brightest students from around the world to Tasmania and be part of our education process. I had a look at that list just before and decided that it's far too long and probably not very productive if I go through that with you. What we will do is we will put that list up on our website so that there's actually that you can check back to what we discussed last year, what has happened since, and where we want to take that with the outputs from today. I'm very excited. I'm very much looking forward to what we will be doing in our cafe discussions. And again, I thank everybody for making it happen, particularly the TIA communications team, who put an enormous amount of effort into today. So thank you very much again for your support, and I'm looking forward to the day.